I know there's some kind of kindred spirit shit going on, dog. I'm just letting you know.
I'm beautiful.
No,
I've just known that before. Someone who will smoke the end of the joint, I respect that, dude. You respect your weed. Weed is weed.
It's for the community. It's for the people.
Yeah.
This is for the people. You're doing that.
Cloud Makers is for the children.
This is a service.
Yo, that's why I wore that scarf last night. Like, I felt like old dirty bastard.
Oh, dude. You felt like an old dirty bastard?
Yeah, old dirty bastard when he wore it, when he crashed the fucking Grand and shit. Here, sit down.
John May's gonna,
old
John May's
dirty
gonna,
bastard.
He's gonna get his back.
There we go. Hey, so you guys feel okay about the fact that you just had a super fascinating conversation? We didn't record any of it?
It's fine.
I mean, it's probably good for all of our careers. Let's just be honest. Probably don't want any of that shit out there.
It might have been one of those situations where we all feel really smart when we're in the room.
I'm trying to get that Nike money, baby.
Hey, DPs are always a weird conversation.
We think we're all smart when we're in the room, and the next morning we listen to it. We're like, whoa, what the fuck were we
You guys
talking
are
about?
fucking idiots.
Jeez. All right, well, now that we have a very boring banter thing, I guess we
Tony,
could start the show.
wait, I want Tony to check his mic really quick.
Check. 1, 2.
What? Come on.
Excellent.
Come on.
Fuck you.
This feels scared.
I can't wait till this one breaks down.
Okay.
Hold the mic a little
So,
bit closer.
I need
Like
you
that?
to be like this, kind of
Like this?
Perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
Whose lips been on here?
Ooh. If those
Nobody's.
phones
Those are
can
fresh.
talk.
It's fresh.
The one that's got a hole in it is fresh?
Yeah.
Oh, God, our production value keeps dropping every year.
Tell me about it.
I hope that Nike money shows up one of these days.
Yeah. We're good.
We're good?
We're 100%.
Should we start the show?
Yeah, let's start the show.
All right. Wait, hold on. Did I go one-sided for a second? Nope.
No.
I'm back. Okay.
All right.
Down, flush the toilet.
What now to the gents in the Crappy House podcast.
What's the story? Where you come from? Why are you here? What's the story? Where you come from? Where you come from? Why are you here? What's the story? Where you come from? What's the story? Where you come from? What's the story? Where you come from?
I gotta pee.
See, that ain't even right because I know that he's heard the show and he's been waiting to. That was going to be his one thing. Like, I just got to do that one thing.
Good. I just don't drop the mic, whatever
See,
you do.
I think he's trolling us.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, welcome to another highly prepared episode of the Crappy Awesome Podcast. We are your hosts, the Diego Brown Project. I am Mr. Arash, even though nobody calls me Mr. And with me is KILLcRey, even though we'll just call him Chris.
Hey, yo.
We're, of course, brought to you by Platform Collection. Make sure you go over to platformcollection.com and check out all the videos and music. And trust me, there's content on there. And you'll spend many hours observing it and listening to it and reading it. And while you're there, check out our sibling podcasts. There's Culture Sessions, hosted by Melathion Archive and produced by Spock Beats.
Spock Beats.
The 2Mex Hologram podcast, going long and strong and hard and covered. Covered. It's great. Go listen to that.
Half as long, twice
Half
as
as
strong.
long.
Woo! Just give him another
Ooh,
one.
half as long, twice as strong.
Max, you owe me for that one, too.
That's great.
That's the second one I gave him.
There's Proof of Life Radio and Status Escalate, two different shows hosted by the same superstar, Kali.
Yeah.
That's you sound doubtful about that.
No, I'm with it. Yeah.
There's Life on the Road, hosted by 60 East. Really though? With Cookbook of LA Symphony. Orchestrated, hosted by Noah James and Lisa J.
Yeah.
Who have their own podcast network, by the way. You should go check that out as well.
Yeah, they got wrestling shows.
We won't give you the address, though. You
A
gotta look
woman's
for it.
show.
There's a woman's show?
Yeah, there's a woman's waves.
So it's like the total opposite of today's show because there's a bunch of dudes in the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
We should do
testosterone-filled
we should
day.
do a woman's show episode where we invite nothing but dudes.
Wait, hold on. By the way, for all of you guys who want to become rappers, there's a room full of rappers and there's no girls here at all.
like always.
I'm just pointing that out. So
What else is new?
Rethink it. There's no more room at the end.
And of course, the Ghetto Blaster podcast hosted by Ricochet.
Yeah.
Speaking of, it's all a bunch of dude hosts too.
Yeah.
We need to get some more women.
We've been
on the
trying,
board.
man.
I know. We had like 2 and they left.
Yep.
2Mex Hologram Radio. Make sure you tune into that. You can find links to that over at platformcollection.com. And TuneIn Radio is definitely the go-to. I want to use a different word than platform.
It's
Channel, website.
It's an app, man.
All right. That's the best way to listen to 2MX Hologram Radio. Make sure you go check that out. All that information is over at platformcollection.com. Follow us on Instagram at Platform Collection. It's one word, all spelled out. And on Twitter at Platform Collect.
Notion.
With Notion. Shout out to Tor Project. It's an open source privacy platform. They do amazing shit. Because if you want to watch your porn and not have your grandma find
send
out
dick
about
pics.
it, that's
If you need to send a dick pic,
always
and you need
mention
that
your
shit to be
grandma,
super
you brought up
safe.
dick pics. Super uncomfortable.
I mean, we like all audiences.
Yeah, that's true.
We're fair.
Dude, it's totally okay if your grandma wants some.
Wants a dick pic.
Yeah.
I would be hyped if my grandma was like, "Yo, I need to give me some dick pics."
Yo, no
I mean,
joke.
she's at that point in her life, she gives zero
I
fucks.
did meet this swinger type woman recently. And I think her Instagram is something grandma, but she's been hitting me up pretty strong
Sick.
to hook up.
What's
And
her
I'm
name and address?
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about hooking up with a grandma, but I guess I'm getting to that age.
Oh man, you got to do that.
I'm sure I've done it enough.
Yeah,
I just don't know about it.
You have to taste all the fruit on the tree.
This is true.
And there goes the last of our female listeners.
All three of them are gone.
Okay.
No, I'm a fan.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it.
Word.
And I'll report back.
Okay.
Burner Podcast. That is not on Platform Collection. That's over at burnerpodcast.com. It is hosted by yours truly, and it covers the Burning Man community and culture, the longest running audio show in that realm.
Yep.
Tell them about Stitcher and iTunes and Spreaker and all that.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, or Spreaker, go over to platformcollection.com. You can hear every episode. Muds, if you're going to do that during the entire show,
What's he doing?
you're going to have to sit on the other side. God damn it.
Is he farting?
No, because he knows the show, so he knows our timing, and he's putting his hands when we're saying words. And yeah.
I don't know.
Throwing me off over here. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for
At this point,
listening.
Chris is going to get high and start talking a lot about the industry.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And then Arash is going to find a way to not talk about
Yeah.
hip hop.
And then inevitably DMT.
Yeah, at some point brings up.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for supporting. The numbers keep growing because of you guys. 2MX Hologram Radio, man. Go over there. There's a bunch of shows. We have shows from the East Coast, West Coast, the Midwest. It's looking really good over at 2MX Hologram Radio. And plus, I guarantee you this. There literally is no other radio station like this, period. It is what radio should be. It's completely free form when it comes to the people that are creating the shows. But here's that thing, Arash, that still can happen on 2MX Hologram Radio at any moment, because we've taught them how to do this.
Yeah.
2MX could just pop up live and start doing a show or a concert or talk.
Wow.
That can happen at any moment on 2MX Hologram Radio, so at least go there for that.
I'm glad I don't have that tool at my disposal.
No, because you'd be doing it all the time, right?
Dangerous.
Yeah. I could see myself doing that
Oh
all
my
the time.
God.
But he's got the key. He can do it. So tune in for that. And trust me, he thanks you for the support too. You see how much time he puts into the show. He's really trying to give a platform to artists who would not normally get radio play and give it to them in a quality of what they should expect.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That's what's up.
Yo, man. So we have
a fuck ton of guests.
So I'm super surprised, guys. First of all, that
they were able to get their shit together.
Yeah, yo, this is how I know. No bullshit. This is how I know you must be doing good work, because I was like, man, this is either gonna be super dope or it's gonna be a shit show. Because I'm like, there's a lot of motherfuckers there.
It can be both.
Yeah, it could go any way.
Yeah.
But nah, man, you guys, thank you for the hospitality. First of all, Tony,
For sure.
it's
Hell yeah.
amazing. They've had us here. They've hosted. We just did Self Provoke. So if you listen to that last week, it was here as
That's
well.
why Gadzooks was on for 3
seconds.
seconds.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the show
Disappeared.
was self-promote.
And then he appeared in the
A few more
future.
seconds coming, don't worry.
Yeah.
He's a time traveler.
Because Duke's a hype man for 2
So
seconds.
random.
Yeah.
We should do that. We should have other names
Just
that the
drop-ins.
audience are familiar with. Yeah. And they'll talk for 1 sentence and then not even mention them again for the rest of the show.
They just end this when they ask us about it and be like, what do you mean?
What are you talking about?
No, he wasn't on the show.
No, Jay-Z wasn't here.
That'll be at least another listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's a
We'll
good scheme.
start putting Easter eggs
Yeah.
in episodes.
Stay Illuminated is in the house.
That's what's up.
So somebody needs to explain to me what Stay Illuminated is. So who's
Chris has no idea. We
who's
just booked the
willing
show.
to do that?
That's Tony. That's why he's getting all frustrated.
Okay.
already.
Well, I mean, I started the brand with a person like from the industry that
Yeah.
I like I'm a fan of AWOL1 and
Okay.
other Project Load guys.
Yeah.
And I just hit him up and on the email and just like, oh, I want to do a shirt for you. There was a void.
Wait, like a cold hit up?
yeah,
You didn't
just
know him at all?
a cold email on. It was an Earthlink email. Put it that way.
Oh, wow.
That long ago.
I was gonna say when was
Yeah.
it?
It was
Yeah.
it was AWOL1 at Earthlink.net.
Wow, you just gave away his email address by the way.
It's fine.
We'll edit that
It's
out.
fine.
Don't worry.
No. Who cares? He don't have that no more.
Yeah.
But anyways, but
Is he on net zero?
man, it was a long time ago.
Okay, wait. Let's back up, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what got you to the point where you even felt like you wanted to do anything? Like as far as like in this
Well-
business, this isn't like a business you pick where you're like, this is a sure thing.
Well, my thing is, I didn't care about making. I didn't care about making money, or
Yeah.
I just wanted to see whatever I do on a shirt. I'm a fan of the guy.
Yeah.
I wanted to see on the stage,
Yeah,
and that was AWOL1 and 2Max and Cinco, Tall and Cinco,
yeah.
and I hit.
And that was just the goal. I just want to get a shirt on
Yeah,
them.
that
That's
was
as
a goal.
much as you
That
thought
was a
about
goal.
it.
That was a goal.
Yeah.
I made like 100 shirts, and I dropped them off at the CV Shack.
Yeah.
Which is Riddler.
Yeah.
All those guys.
Yeah.
I just dropped them off, and they just all wore them, and then next thing you know, it was Cinco, 2Max, and calling me to make shirts for them,
Yeah.
and that's how it started.
So at that point, when you start you start getting calls, right? Because first you got to be stoked that you just got your goal, right?
Yeah,
Like you were like,
I
"Go,
didn't care. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
they're wearing
I
my
made- yeah.
shit." Did you have any concept of what like a brand was?
No.
Okay, so now they're calling you and they're saying, "Make me shirts." Even at that point, are you like, "I just make shirts"? I guess. Like it's not a brand. There's no
Well,
advertising.
Nope, there was no. I had a brand. It was like I said, Stairs Hunted. I just tagged something on
Yeah.
there, you know, like. But then I made Illuminate, which was that's fast forwarding.
Yeah.
But that was
We're almost there.
yeah. I started doing the Stairs Hunted thing. I just wanted to see whatever I designed on a shirt.
Yeah.
What the guys I'm a fan of wearing on stage,
Yeah.
and then 2Max was like, "Oh, you should make a brand." I'm like,
Fucking too bad.
"Yeah."
What was the
So
original
come into
design?
my world.
Yeah.
What was that first design?
It was just my tag. I just did a tag, Stairs Hunted.
Yeah.
Stairs meaning the MCs, and the Hunted part meaning underground.
Yeah.
So it was fucking stupid. Whatever.
But it
fucking
worked.
stupid.
But it worked.
Whatever.
I mean,
Yeah.
dude. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Like, I know you're saying it because this is probably just the way he thinks. You know what I mean? Like that isn't normal. Like for people who are not like successful, they don't understand like how you just do something. Like you have to just do
Who gave you permission to do
My,
that?
my thing was just do it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't ask like, oh, what about with the trademarks? I didn't care. You know, I wasn't like well, what if I get sued? I just did my
Why clothing?
um
Just because you knew that's what they would wear? Just
Yeah, I mean, my thing. I grew up skateboarding, and I knew the whole skateboarding marketing thing. That's kind of how the base of the brand. You have a team, and you see the team. You have the elite guys that are
Yeah.
the best what they do, and
the main ones that are being sponsored,
yes,
pretty much.
the sponsors. You know, when you see somebody that you like or you're a fan of, oh, he's wearing Stay Illuminated,
Yeah.
Illuminate, whatever. That's what I base my brand off is skateboarding marketing.
Is,
you know,
is that model? I'm sorry. Is that like different than what we were seeing in hip hop at that time?
Yeah, well, I think when I first started, there was a void in hip hop shirts, and like the guys marketing themselves, like, oh, AWOL. That's why I told AWOL1, you should make shirts. He's like, you should make shirts like with AWOL1.
Oh, you're responsible for that.
Yeah, it was when I did it was 1999,
Yeah.
and I hit AWOL. I was like, you should do a shirt. And I'll put my tag on it. As long as your logo's there,
Yeah.
you see my logo. That's
Like
all
a
I care about.
collaboration,
And
yeah.
I'll pay for the shirts, and you go on tour and you sell them. I don't care.
Okay.
Wow.
And like you can keep the fucking money because I love your music.
And hip hop wasn't doing that at that time. Like they
No.
were just creating
No.
a shirt only with
No.
their design.
Well, back then I tried to hit up a couple of artists, but I think they thought I was just a fanboy. And
Yeah.
well, I was a fanboy.
Yeah.
But they weren't fucking with me.
Yeah.
You know, because they thought I was.
What were you a fan
Get away
of?
from us, nerd.
Yeah, yeah. No. They did. They tried to fuck with me, and like, I was trying to fuck with them. They're like, oh well, why do you have to wear your shit? I'm like, you don't. you fucking don't. You know?
Yeah.
No, there was one time I was at the CV Shack, and I was at it was a meeting,
Yeah.
and I was like doing a presentation of my
Yeah.
stuff, and it was Peace, Riddler, Nigga Fish, Rifleman,
Yeah.
and Pterodactyl, and even AC Alone was there.
Yeah. Wait, how did you get the meeting?
Well, I found out where where they recorded it at.
Yeah.
I found out it was on 82nd and
Okay, so
Harmony.
you were stalking them for a
Yes.
minute.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
And then
I dropped the shirts off, and then I was like, well, let me talk to you guys, and like, okay.
and you were ready to do a presentation.
Yeah.
Like, here's my
Oh
presentation.
yeah, yeah. I was.
Do you have a PowerPoint?
It's fucking dope.
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But my thing back then was just trying to build a branding, whatever else. I didn't know what I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't even have a company name.
Right.
You know, I was just trying to make them a part of what I wanted to do, and they weren't feeling it.
Yeah.
They were not feeling it, and I was like, okay, like they thought I was trying to take advantage of them. They did.
Yeah.
Right. Which was common.
fair.
It's common.
fair.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of skateboard people like
Yeah.
pros and shit. Like, oh, well, my name's on it. Why the fuck should I make money off it?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I know that industry too. So
And
I'll
plus,
say-
that is, for people who don't know, that is a game, right? We've all dealt with people wanting to give you free shit.
Yeah.
It's never free.
Okay, dude, like,
It's never really
the
free.
The thing is like when I stopped doing that shit.
Yeah.
When you give you do that like the first year, you give shit away. That's how you build your
Right.
the momentum up.
Yeah.
You know, with whatever. But after a while, it's like, dude, that fool gives away everything.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's
sorry.
too easy to get.
So just to clarify, so then what you were proposing was that you're going to create the shirt. You're going to produce the shirt.
Yeah.
Your brand is going to go on it, and their original design
Yes.
also goes on
Yeah.
it. So you're basically fronting the business side
But
of it, so
basically,
you can have a canvas.
I was doing a distribution.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's like you have a logo already, and if I had something, I used to mess around with whatever. But just if I did something original, I try to pitch it to them.
Yeah.
And something
You were
like-
designing like on Adobe Illustrator?
Yeah,
or?
it was, Illustrator like fucking
Okay.
a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I used
Cork.
To, no, it was
Paint.
it was
MSP.
it was
Shout
it
out
was
Cork,
fucking
though.
it was,
Bad Cork. Shout out Cork.
it was
Cork
horrible,
Express,
and Visa True would probably hit me in the
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
You know, but it was horrible shit. But that's how I started, and most of the stuff it was my original tag. But yeah, I tried to base my brand off skateboarding
Yeah.
marketing.
So your formula was pretty much matching up the art. Like you were providing the canvas and the feel.
Yeah.
And then the artist would contribute their art.
Yeah, it's like just wear my shirt.
Yeah.
And people see it, and that's it. There's no like.
Which is weird. I mean, here's the thing that's weird about that, because that is for a lot of people, especially in hip hop, unfortunately, because we don't get educated on these types of things. That is a normal way of doing business in the business world. Like that is how sponsorships work. That's how partnerships work. And in hip hop, I know there's always like a knee jerk reaction when somebody comes at you like, "Hey, we're gonna, I don't know, put your face on this thing. Do you want to do it?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, well, what do you want from me?"
Yeah.
And that's not always the first question you should ask. Like the first question you should ask is whether or not this makes sense. Like, does this make sense
for both of the parties?
Yeah. Is what they're asking of me something I should be doing anyways? Should I already be advertising myself? Should I be partnering with a brand?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't imagine. I can't imagine at that time that was so foreign.
Oh yeah, no, that's what there was a void at that time. That kind of sponsorship, there was a void. And
Yeah.
people were just scared. They're like, "Oh, what the fuck? He wants something from me.
Yeah.
He wants money from me." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, I don't want money. I just want you to wear my shirt.
Right.
That's it."
Yeah, it's
He's like,
mutual growth.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to do, but I don't know.
So that presentation, you said how long is the presentation?
Oh man, the presentation.
Did you write on the chalkboard? You're like, "I am Mr. Tony."
3 lines under.
Yeah, Tony. No, it was fucking nerve wracking because a fucking room full of rapper guys that I'm a fan of, and even like fucking AC Alone and
Legends.
You know, like that I still listen to now.
And you're an admitted fanboy at
I
that
was
time.
a fucking fanboy like crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just started talking.
Fuck, that takes balls, bro.
And-
I gotta
but-
admit, that takes fucking
But
balls.
I'm still nervous, like even whatever now.
Yeah.
In front of those guys, I was like super nervous,
Yeah.
and I was trying to propose like, well, you wear my stuff, and when you go on tour, you
Just
rock
sell
my
it.
stuff, and if you want to sell it, you can sell it, and if you want to keep half of it and just give me $2.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You give me $2,
Yeah.
and then we'll
basically like production costs.
production costs.
Yeah.
'Cause that's it.
Yeah, and you're getting a free product.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I think it was too much work for them. They didn't fucking feel
Yeah.
it. And who knows? But
Well, it's also having an understanding of even how that type of marketing even works.
Well,
that was new to hip hop.
That was new.
Yeah.
I mean, I was working at a skate shop back then, and
Yes.
what pumped me up more was one of my friends hit me up like, "Oh, I saw Peace wearing one of your shirts."
Oh wow.
So that kind of like, oh, that shit's dope. Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna start doing more.
So okay, let's go back one more step. Why hip hop? Like what brought hip hop into your life?
Hip hop. I mean, I started listening to hip hop when I don't know. I was like 10, 9.
Yeah.
But I did like punk, and I did like I pretty much like everything, you know. Just
Yeah. But I mean, you're surrounded by hip hop.
Well, yeah. I mean, surrounded by hip hop, but I mean, I grew up listening to, like Minor Threat,
Yeah.
Bad Brains, and I still listen to that. Like, if it's by myself in my car, I listen to punk,
Yeah.
mostly punk or talk radio.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
Or podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I have friends in the car, it depends who's in the car because they
Yeah.
hate my music. Because, you know, Wino hates what I fucking play.
Hey, wait. Can I ask, like, the group? Is Tony like? Is Tony constantly checking on everybody? Is he like? What role does he play? Like, Bees and Trees on a mic right now. Bees and Trees here. What is the role you feel he plays within the group of, like, even just socially friends? Like, what's the role he takes?
He's definitely the babysitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, shouts out to Tony, bro. It's so provoked. This motherfucker opened up so many connections for me in the fucking clothing world. Shouts out to my boy Tony. Stay illuminated all fucking day.
Yeah.
Real shit. But he's still the
Several just did a
babysitter.
drop with his mouth full. Mouthful of chicken, just do a drop real quick.
Nah, Tony the king of mastering shit. Like, he gets everything, he puts it all together. He makes all that shit happen. This person needs to do this thing, this person needs to do this thing, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But, like, he's a good...
He's the producer, right? He's like the production
He's a
manager.
hub lead.
Yeah, he's real good at it, too.
Yeah, because we know, because we have a Tony too. His name's Eddie.
Yeah.
And,
I know.
No, you guys are identical.
You know what, Eddie? I knew Eddie was one of me when he said, "Hey, I'm not gonna be there, but these guys are in front of your house."
Yeah.
That's me. That's what I do. I'm like, why no? Your Uber's there.
I think I got that same text when I went to go do the podcast with you guys before.
I think you told us that.
I got the Eddie text where it was like, "Hey, yo, you're at the right spot. I'm not there."
It's like he has the fucking cameras or something like that. I'm like,
yeah.
all right, and I like that. I respect
Turn
that.
your left.
I
No,
respect
your other
that.
left.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Eddie he's an entity.
yeah, he is, dude. I mean,
I like that shit.
the thing is, like, a
We
lot
have
of
a little
people
altar
don't
that we worship
understand, like, with Eddie, has made so many things happen behind the scenes,
Yeah,
like, for a
I like
lot
that.
of people.
Yeah, that's dope.
And, like, he's just not in it for, like, any of the reasons that we're all in it for. You know what I mean?
You know,
like,
I didn't
to
even
lay our emotions out and, like,
I didn't even think about it, but
Yeah.
literally, they are the same people.
They're the
for
same
sure.
people.
He is definitely that guy. He's like, I don't want to do the podcast. I want
Yeah.
you guys all. That's why we're all here.
Yeah.
Because Tony's like, everybody, please come, so I don't have to speak on this. Real shit. He does not want to be talking. So props to Tony already.
Props
for
to
killing
Tony,
it.
dude.
Yeah. So like he's a background.
Yeah.
guy. Liz is very exclusive, I would say, on the
Okay.
norm. Like
So-
very different for him.
So music comes into your life.
Yeah.
You and obviously, so what leads you from that group of artists that you were pursuing to, like, the new incarnation with Stay Illuminated?
Well, I started Stay Illuminated with by myself first, and then I got a partner. But then I started with the Kid Presentable.
Okay.
I pick with the flowers that go straight into my lungs. So hot I might as well be walking on the sun. My sneakers burning the trail. I'm bobbing, weaving suckers, hoping that I fall in a fail. I grab the bull by the tail of the horns. Y'all won't see me when I'm gone, cause I'm light years ahead of y'all. I put that on my firstborn. Rare form, got that Cali herb to thank you. The weather's always perfect for some positive vibes and dank.
The sun is shining, my mind is finding I'm alive. But by design, I brought the rhyme. You got the time, I think that we should get the flying up in the clouds to get that bird's eye view. From where we took off, you can still smell that sweet perfume. These summer days in California just don't add up. We all see the same sunrise from different ladders. Take note of all the patterns so dope. It leaves you flattered. Our matter of fact runs louder than all these over dramatics.
Pass the blunt, pass it. Take a puff, hash your stuff, careful when you ash it. Yeah. Far from smashing on the 605, a slow drive, but still managed to make it in time to hit the high five. And that slap coincides with when I get high. One out of many signs in life of mine to grab the damn pipe. Then stay winning by your landslide. I'll take flight, certain it's green around my side.
Hey, yo, I'm in it for the long haul. Fuck the heat, truckers, steez out on the road. Sleep inside the cabin, sometimes I be calling at your home. Still a throne, flesh and bone. Everything I got in this walk amongst the flames of LA, early apocalypse. Head is heavy, shoulders weighted, heart has been obliterated. Feet been worn from walking circles round the unsophisticated. Turn their heads, break your necks, look ahead, they looking back. Looking like living in this heat has got its benefits. Cause all we spit, 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 all we spit.
How did that
He
happen?
hit me up on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I listened to his stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's here, by the way.
He slid in my DMs.
Yeah. What's your name?
All right, so this is what happened. I legit hit him up like, yo, your shirts are dope. Like, you know, let's. I'm in a crew called Cloudmakers.
Yeah.
We need some sponsorship. Like, yo, I got something I can offer you. You can offer me something.
Yeah.
He's like, all right.
Was that a role you were playing for? Like,
No,
was that kind of just a role
absolutely
you
not.
No?
Absolutely not. No.
He hit me up and he was like, oh, well, I need a sponsor.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like, I loved his music,
Yeah.
his Future Diamonds, that I love that album. It
Yeah.
was dope. And then I kind of researched what he was a part of, the Cloudmakers, and I was like, well, fuck, these fools are fucking dope too. And
there's the formula. You see it,
that's
bro.
the
You
formula.
saw it right away,
that was the
right?
formula. I was like, you know what? These fools want something.
Yeah.
These guys, they want to grow. They want to do something other than think people are trying to take advantage of them.
Yeah. They're more open to the
They're more
ideas.
open to the ideas, and I'm not even talking about making money. I'm talking about just expanding and just grow and just do something other than fucking 9-to-5 jobs.
Yeah.
And just do something other, like just.
You found like your other entrepreneur.
Yeah, just something just to make you happy and just to do something that makes you feel good and like making money is good too, but I think that's more important too.
Do you picture yourself like? Has it always been the vision to not work for anybody? Like, I don't want to work for people.
Yeah, I mean,
where does that come from in your family? Was your family like that? Was your dad like that?
My family is opposite of that.
Yeah,
my family I'm like the first.
Where are they from?
My dad's from Mexicali and my mom's from Guadalajara.
Okay, and when did they come here?
I'm the first generation here.
You're the first generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my family is there. They don't believe in starting a business. They don't.
Yeah, because they want risk safety.
Takers.
Right. Yeah.
They just want to work, and that's great.
Yeah.
That's
that whole generation is like that.
Yeah. So, but I'm different. So.
Yeah. So when they I always ask people this. Like, do they get it?
No.
Like, when your parents look at it, are they like, "That's high"? Are they like, "What the fuck is my son doing?"
My family doesn't know.
Yeah.
What I do.
Yeah.
They don't
just don't have access to it.
They don't.
Yeah.
Not even my son doesn't even. He loves my stuff. Like, my son loves my stuff.
Yeah.
But I have a friend that has a bigger company, and he's
into that.
He's into that.
Of course.
Yeah. That's
he'll grow out of that.
But I have to like force my son to where is the school?
Yeah.
What is the meeting? Please. And then my son's like, maybe.
Wow.
But that's all good, so that's.
And your son has played like a little bit of role in in the marketing.
Oh yeah, my son is a demographic. My son is a demographic. He's 13. He was a demographic at 10.
Yeah. That's true.
He's been into it.
Yeah, he's been into it. And
So you guys have like and there's other people with kids, and so that will
That we
be
know
in
of.
that age as well on someday. You guys have like this huge test market
Yeah,
kind of built in already.
pretty much. I mean, I think when I go to the school meetings and you
Yeah.
see what kids are wearing, and I'm like paying attention to that. You see the stuff that we're putting out now, and
He's not paying attention to any of the fucking PTA shit. He's just like, yeah, 12 o'clock.
You're just looking at what kids are wearing.
I'm like,
Hold on, dog.
We'll edit that out.
I'm
Don't
like,
worry.
I'm talking about colors and
Yeah.
and
Right, of
like now like pastels and like the
Yeah.
kids are wearing pastels only and like
Yeah.
fucking like one color, one hit, not crazy like.
Yeah.
Right.
Just, you
So
know.
at this point, have you been in the game long enough where you can look at those things that the kids are wearing and be able to predict what the next trend is going to be before
No,
it starts happening?
Visa Tree's that's good at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Visa Tree's fucking like fashion forward motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know that I'm good at that as much as I'm just an asshole. And I'm like, I don't like this.
No, remember well, we were
It's
at
more of that.
no, we were at some at Beanery, that place we were drinking.
A beanery?
You say a beer
Beanery,
place?
Okay.
it's a Beanery
That's cool.
brewery.
Oh, Barney's
Okay.
Beanery.
Yeah, there you go.
Barney's Beanery.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
Yeah,
okay.
and
Wow, we got racist real quick.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, but
It got real quiet.
Trump.
Trolling all day. That's full.
Must troll off.
You know what? I really like that. I like it because like we can just make racist ass fucking statements and just end it with very quietly saying,
Must-
Yeah.
Trump, walk away.
Trump.
No, but I mean, there was some Japanese. They were like tourists, like motherfuckers.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
from straight from Japan.
Yeah.
And he was just wearing a shirt that was like rolled up, and it was like weird, but he was like, watch, 2 months.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
And like 2 months later, I was at Target.
Yeah.
Fucking all the shirts brand like rolled up, and you know, so.
So, okay, wait.
They also have giant expensive cameras all set to automatic.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's racist.
That's a
Wait,
fact.
Okay, wait, so we need to like rearrange here because, okay, so you and Kid Presentable met first.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so
He slid in my DMs.
Yeah, he slid in your DMs. You guys hooked up.
And then I remember that
Now
night,
you're still
actually.
together and you're happy.
We're trying to work it out.
I remember that night, KP, Kid Presentable, told us, like, as cloud makers, like,
Yeah.
hey, yo, this dude, Tony, Stay Illuminated, is going to come and meet us at this show and, like, hook us up with gear. And we were like,
Wow.
oh, okay.
You're just like, whatever.
Cool.
Right, yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
And
Whatever,
then this
KP.
motherfucker shows up with, like, a literal, like, you guys are hungry for shirts? Yeah, here's a box of shirts. Like, I don't know, 20 shirts maybe or something?
No, well,
it was a bunch of different shirts, all different sizes, and he was like, sell the rest, do what you need, make your money. And we were like, God damn, okay. That's real nice.
Real shit. Yo,
Yeah,
okay,
we were
wait.
all very surprised.
What
I
was-
was
what were the
very
shirts? What were the
fucking
shirts?
surprised. I was
No,
tripping.
they were. It was like they were hoodies, shirts, and
There were hoodies in there too?
Yeah, hoodies.
What did the
Multiple.
box cost you? In retrospect, when you look
that
back.
was
I would say
$400 probably. Like,
$400.
It
Yeah,
was
that
a
like-
lot of shit.
Yeah, it was a lot of shit.
Worth
And-
of like,
and that
like
you knew you were giving that away.
MSRP.
That was the same strategy I did before.
Sure.
It was just like,
But this is the thing. I really want people to understand when they're thinking about how easy it is to do what you're doing.
look, it's not easy.
That
When-
that's $400. You literally think about right now. If your wallet fell out and you had $400 in it, you might cry. You might be like, "Fuck."
Definitely gonna cry.
Yeah, some of you guys are welling up right now just thinking about it.
when people ask me like,
Yeah.
I want to start a clothing company, I'm like, don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like fucking don't.
Yeah.
Just
No, it's
don't
you know
do
that
it.
it's we've talked. I think we talked about it one time. What's his name? Who gives that advice?
Who gives bad advice?
No, he gives that advice.
Oh, that
same
particular advice.
advice.
Don't. Me. I've been saying that enough.
No, this person is way more famous than you. Seinfeld. Okay, so when
yeah.
Seinfeld
Seinfeld
gets
is more famous
approached
than me.
by a new comedian,
yeah.
they'll be
Don't fucking start.
Yeah, they ask
like,
him,
"Don't do
yo,
it,
what do you
quit."
think about it? He's like, don't do it, you suck, quit. He's like, I saw your set, it's horrible.
Well, yeah.
And,
I mean,
and his theory is if they keep going, they're meant for this shit. If not, fuck them. They were just in the way anyways.
Fair.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Just because a
hard out
celebrity
there.
tells you like you shouldn't do
Yeah,
this, and then all of a
if
sudden
that
you're like,
makes you quit.
like that's
Yeah.
like Kim Kardashian being like, you shouldn't eat food, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm all
Your
done
lips
eating
should
food
look like
now.
this. Yo, let me ask
fuck?
you this, Visa Street, because I know you shrug it off, but the reason, I believe that you probably have your thoughts go into the design. Well, one, you are a designer,
right?
Okay, by craft. You know what I mean? And you have a passion in it, obviously. But you also tailor, because you're an independent artist.
Right.
There's nobody telling you what your music should sound like or how you should dress or how you should look. And that's still the product. And I'm just using that for lack of better expression. The product is well put together. It looks.
I appreciate that.
It looks consistent. You know what I mean? There's a story. You know what I mean? It's not like, what the fuck is, like, you know, I feel like even when you are doing that artistically, it still makes sense in the story of Beezatry. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just, so.
That's cool.
So you looking at fashion, that makes sense because you're looking how to connect, like, the pieces, and you're doing, because you already do it with your own career.
Which is just weird because I've never been into fashion in like fully the opposite. I grew up like a little crusty punk, so I was like, fuck that. Like, I don't do that, you know? Like, but like, once I'm like once I realize like, oh, design, like, oh shit, this can has a design on it. So does that bottle. So does this fucking, like, the mixer, all this shit. I'm like, the bag of chips, like, then I saw everything different. And it was like, things are designed. It takes this type of work and my whole life growing up, I always wanted to draw. I tried to draw my whole life, and my best artwork is maybe a stick figure. Real life shit. No joke. Like, I can't illustrate at all.
Wow.
And I lucked out to where my mom was like, for reals, like, hey, you can't draw. You should go to graphic design school. You need like a tool. Like, you can't like just hammer in the nail with your hand. Sometimes a motherfucker needs a hammer. I needed a hammer real bad. You know, and so I needed something to assist me in like being able to do the shit that I wanted to do and illustrate and lay shit out and do all these things. And once I got that, it was like, oh, like I was already in punk bands and doing music and shit. But then once I learned about programs and I was using Photoshop and Illustrator and like 2002.
Quark.
Quark Express, real shit. Shout out Quark.
It's like a steroid injection.
Real shit. When I used that shit, all of a sudden, one day, no joke, I just was like, oh, fuck, like electronic music. Like, people make this on the computer. I'm using a computer now. Like, I wonder what I could find for that. And it's like, I Googled some shit and was like, I found this free little sampler thing, like, that was cheap as fuck. And it was called the D sampler. And I used that shit for years to make shit. And it was like, literally would search your computer for all the Windows, like I'm on Windows, and that shit would search for all the wave files on your computer, and you could sample with those files. So it was like, I was making songs with wave files from the default sounds, like, you know, from like Windows. You have mail and shit like that. I was making songs out of that shit, and it was like, that's when I realized, like, oh, people are like making music here. And so then I started like transitioning
at that point.
I was still, that's when I first started designing, and then I kind of realized, like, oh, people are making music on computers too, and I literally, like, I've never went, like, which is pretty clear, I've never went to a music school or, like, learned how to, like, do producing or anything like that. I think I'm pretty good at it for what I have, but, like, I've never went to school. It was literally just, like, oh, I'm going to apply, like, my Photoshop skills and, like, what I know about stumbling through a program to, like, stumbling through this music program. And so it's the same shit where it's just, I was falling through shit trying to figure it out as I go.
It's obvious when you look at your stuff, though, is that there's a designer's mind. Because even when you transition into music more, right? And you're literally putting together wave files, chopping samples, you're still using your designer's mind, because your music isn't coming out tailor-made. Like, your music comes out like fashion. You know what I mean? Like, it comes out and it isn't necessarily like every time you drop something, people don't know what to expect. Right. You know what I mean? But that's your thing. You're always doing that.
That's fair.
So when you look at fashion tries to work the same way. Like, they're always trying to surprise and bring in something new, even if it resembles certain things. You have aesthetics about you that are resembled throughout history. Right. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely aesthetics about you, but with all of us, right? Like, that's basically how everybody is. But what direction you're going in, we never know. And the way you present it,
that's good to hear. I like that.
Roll it out like fashion, because you start rolling out. I've seen the way you roll out your ads and you roll out your promo.
Right.
So when you decided to, like, work with Tony, Did you see that was needed? Did you think like, okay, they might need me?
It was more like I don't know, like we hooked up with Tony doing. He was hooking us up with shirts and shit, and it's like I do the graphic design stuff, so he was already he had a partner at the time and was working on shit, and that shit it looked good, honestly. It looked good, but like they had a falling out for whatever reason on some separate shit, I think, and that shit that's how it happened. It was like, yo man, I feel like I could help you with this, and I don't remember who reached out to who, but one way or another, it was like if he reached out to me, it was like, yeah, I think I could help you with this. Like, nonetheless, I'd be down to help you with this. Also, I'm a very like forward kind of asshole about like, hey dog, take this shit down. This looks bad. Like, take this shit down. Let's clean it up. Let's make it look good. Like, I want to make like, I don't want to just make a logo for somebody. I want to like make a brand. Like, I like the branding of stuff. I want to make the ads that have like, you know, a skateboarder going in it, and then like low key in the bottom you see like Stay Illuminated like hiding out. But if you see that, you're on that level where it's like, oh shit, okay,
right.
Like I like, it doesn't always have to be a big thing where it's like, hey, here's who's doing it.
But there's an understanding of advertising and putting together like a page. Like, you know where the attention goes from the eyes because you delve in that type of art anyways.
Yeah, absolutely.
What you're describing even with the logo, and the same thing that Tony was describing earlier about how to do these partnerships, it's almost like if you imagine the conversation that's being had in culture, it's like this cocktail party conversation, right? And a lot of people that fuck this up are the ones that run into the middle of the circle and start shouting, look at me, listen to what I have to say. Whereas, like, you know, you put the logo like more subtle right there. It's like, yo, it's just like, I'm just here, I'm part of the conversation. Oh, by the way, yo.
That's the dope part. I mean, that's why we don't do boots. That's how we don't do fucking, like, we have a flyer for the...
You guys do rags though, right?
No. I mean, like,
you don't do booths.
We don't do sell booths. Booth.
Because if you make boots, I might buy them.
I'm in for some Uggs.
Ugg boots. Ugg boot season.
You
I like guys because like whenever I see them, I go, ugh.
Why don't you do booths?
I just don't think that's it's too thirsty.
Doesn't
for
fit
me.
to your brand.
I think it's too thirsty. I think it's like, oh, come, like, I don't like that swap meet shit. You know, I don't
like subtlety.
Subtlety. I like more exclusive. Like, I want people to look for our shit online. And that's it.
Where it feels like a club. Like when you see that bumper sticker that doesn't brand anything, but it says a phrase where you're like, oh, motherfucker, I know what song that's from. Okay, we fuck with a crazy same band. Like, where you're not on this level, like, you don't fuck with, like, Sylvan Esso or some weird, like, abstract band. It's like, you don't fuck with that. And then all of a sudden I see this thing that just references it where I'm like, you roll by, you like, hey, I got you. I got you.
Like, what you're describing is the difference between sales and marketing. And so there's a lot of salesmen, especially in the hip-hop community. Like, they're hardcore salesmen, but they think they're marketers.
No.
They're not. Because marketing, like, for lack of a better description, is a little bit more of like it's more of a feminine trait. It's almost I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna invite you to my place. I'm gonna like cook you dinner. You're gonna want it. You're gonna want to hang out here. Whereas like sales.
Are you describing me?
Absolutely. Do that, huh? Whereas like sales is like more like aggressive. It's like, yo, I'm just a fucking hard cock and I'm ready to just I'm walking around trying to make it fucking.
Marketing describe me again.
Marketing is about finesse, and you're like you've approached it like with the long game in mind rather than I'm gonna make the quick buck tonight.
Well,
that's the thing. Like all these new brands. I think our brand, Visa Tree Criff, our brand is outlasted so many brands already because these guys are at booths like buy my hat. Like I'm like, you know, that shit don't work. I think the last main booth I had was the Beat Swap Me.
It seems like people don't want anything thrown in front of their face.
It's like, who the
they want to find it.
It's like there's like, who the fuck wants to buy my hat? Like, no, that shit don't work.
Well, think about it. When you search for something, our eyes have like been trained to skip right over the paid ads on Google. Like if we're not looking for it ourselves, we don't even notice it anymore. The brain literally just looks past it.
It filters through it.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this though, because inevitably then, because what you're describing seems like a challenging Like that's a challenging thing. It's a challenging venture because you need people to find you. So how do you do that subtly and still market to the like a larger?
I was just gonna say they need to find it type thing. Like I remember having a conversation with Tony where the whole thing was like basically, yo, I think it's a better idea for us to just make a dope design that has nothing to do with the brand or has like not nothing to do with, but you know, like it doesn't have to be like here is the Stay Illuminated logo. Like it doesn't need to be that all the time. It could be something that's unrelated and is just a dope design, and you just work Stay Illuminated in that you work your brand into there in a creative, nice way where it's part of the design, but not the main focus necessarily, where like I feel like I'm a person who looks at details, so I'll look at some shit and be like, okay, I see okay, this all makes sense. But like, if I see some shit I'm like, that's a little off. What's going on right here? I like this. Like, what is this? What is the Stay Illuminated thing about? And then all of a sudden, it makes sense to the bigger picture. Yeah, it's like, oh shit, like I like that shit. It feels like an exclusive club to me.
Who do you know? But that's what I'm saying. So. Here's like because you get to see it from both sides, right? You get to see it from like somebody who's working on the brand internally,
right?
But you're also an artist,
right?
Who the majority of your job, the most powerful part of it is you on stage in front of people. So what you wear matters,
right?
That's one thing. Like I would never stress the guys I sponsor or the guys I work with.
Not like that.
To be like, wear my shirt. Like what? Like, who does that?
Yeah,
like, that's so stupid. Like I don't like that shit. I would never tell a guy, oh, I sponsor you. You wear my shirt.
Yeah,
I think it's just that.
So that's what I'm saying. So is there a challenge then in like how do you make money? How do you flip that into something to get it to enough people that understand the vibe you're going for? Like, how is that the challenge right now? Is that what's happening? Like,
I mean, well, I think now, like, I think the people that we work with and that I work with, Beasley and like we all work with, they see our brand, and they say, oh, well, that's Stay Illuminated. That's that's some other shit. You can't just go in there and be like, because artists do, I think, recognize that. And they kind of like put. It's kind of a bad move and a good move. Yeah. Because it kind of, but.
Do you feel like okay, because here's the thing. Oh, you know what? I'll ask you first, Bees. Do you feel a responsibility because you're also an artist of the brand? Because technically, his investment is in the faces of Stay Illuminated and the vibe of Stay Illuminated. Right. And his investment grows if they grow.
Look, I think...
Right?
I mean, I think I sponsor, Stay Illuminated we sponsor are the best MCs in the game.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, I'm a fan of them, but...
You're going all in on them.
Yeah, they're the best in the game. I think so. Like, in my opinion, and they are. You know, like, a lot of stuff out there that I get sponsorship emails, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I get things on Instagram, I'm like, see in school.
That's what I was gonna say a minute ago. It's like, for reals, this fool, like, we get hated on a lot.
Yeah, we do.
Like, I've had a lot of fallouts for reals because people hit up Tony and they're like, hey, yo, like, let me get a free shirt. And Tony's like, no, I'll give you 50% off on the website. And then we get hated on for that. And it's like, he's not just going to go sponsor everybody. Sponsors who he fucks with, like, whether that's your opinion or not, and you fall into that crowd of people who really fucks with this shit that he fucks with. But, like, he's for reals. Like, Stay Illuminated is Tony's brand. Like, this is for reals the shit that he fucks with. Like, and that's why I like it, because it's a real for reals individualized brand. It's what he does.
But do you feel as an artist who does have a love for the brand and does have like, okay, maybe some of his success is reliant on our collective success?
Absolutely.
Right?
Of course.
Kid Presentable's nodding his head, yes.
Of course.
I mean,
absolutely.
I know, but that's something, what I'm saying, Tony, is that's not something you can control. Whether or not Beasley feels responsible for that, and you tell him to feel responsible for it or not, it's still a personal choice, because he has to go like, man, I really want Tony's shit to blow up too, so I need to blow up.
Right,
and then it's an that becomes a super partnership.
I mean, and then also anybody that I bring new to the brand, I ask the guys what they think.
Yeah.
I do. I respect their their.
Well, because you've created a culture.
I respect their ownership. I want them to feel ownership for the brand, and that's a big appreciation that I could never. That's just you can't buy that.
Yeah.
Because you might think like somebody's dope, but if they're coming in here and their energy is not aligned with everybody else's energy, that's going to
always
cause
weird.
friction.
But I mean, like when I bring somebody new in, and I feel actually I respect their decisions. Like, oh yeah, like I ask a couple guys like, oh, what do you think of this guy? Okay, he's cool. He's dope.
Yeah.
So I do respect everyone's opinion, and I just don't bring anybody on.
Right.
That's fucking whack.
Right. Yeah.
And even if I like them, I won't. If one person doesn't, I won't bring them on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Tony, so I want to go back here. So the day that you dropped off the box of shirts for Cloudmakers, what was your vision at that time for what the next step is? Because I know when you first started earlier, you said my only goal was to just get these guys that I like to wear the shirts.
At that time, I think my visions kind of escalated to making a brand, making money, making just making something from other than just what I do every day. You know, just making something from nothing. You know.
Yeah.
So at that point, you were looking at like the investment of the $400. It's like, all right, this.
You know, and then. I think did we do the meeting after that or before that? At the Felix 45. It was at Whittier.
Maybe after, I think.
Yeah, it was after. Okay.
And what was the meeting about?
Okay, so that's the thing. Like, we did that meeting.
They jumped you in?
No.
Oh, okay.
Almost.
No, I mean,
because Cloudmakers just like dipped them in acid.
I mean,
bye, motherfucker.
I think KP arranged everything, and we went Medicine Bar, and the fact that everyone showed up.
I think we had a show that night too, right? We were rocking that night.
Yeah.
KP, move up, man, so you can get on this mic because I need to ask you some questions.
Yeah, we've heard enough of John.
Pull that chair up.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that everyone showed up and was there to listen to me again. I think I did a little mini presentation, right? I think I did.
Did he have a laser pointer?
I am Mr. Tony.
Stay with me, stay.
Mister? No. Oh, yeah, but yeah, the fact that they all showed up was a big compliment to the
Do you have
brand.
any idea how hard it was to get all of us
But that's what I was
at
gonna
one
say.
fucking point? Like,
I want to hear from your side.
at one time.
Fucking North was
Oh my god.
Trust us,
my
we're very
God.
well aware.
Okay,
of
so
how hard that is.
tell us from your perspective, what did you see? Why did you reach out to him?
Well, at the time, he was fucking with a lot of people that at that moment in time were making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So we're like, man, like personally, I was like, yo, we need some sort of sponsorship. We need some sort, not even sponsorship, some sort of little push behind what we were doing.
Yeah.
A little brand, to push
Like
the brand.
partnership.
Absolutely. So I hit up Tony and I was like, yo, Tony, like, I'm in, check this out. I got my solo ship, but not only that, we have this crew that is popping. Like, it's called Cloudmakers. You got to check this shit out. I think they just did the Cypher Effect.
Yeah.
And they were like, we just did the Cypher Effect, whatever.
Did you like the gear?
Yeah. Oh, the gear was dope, man. Like the gear has always been about just individuality as far as like representing the fucking
free thinking.
Yeah, no, more about representing the artist that he was sponsoring at the time.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So like, I saw that shit. I'm like, yo, we need to get this guy to sit down with us. It took me maybe a week and a half from when I started talking to him to when we actually met. But getting 11 dudes in one place at the time, it was 11 dudes, man.
And they convinced him it's even important.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yo, so what are we doing? I'm like, so we masked it with a show. We're gonna do a show that night. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we have to be there. So we met this dude, and it wasn't even a presentation. It was like, yo, this is what we can do for you. Like, we have a lot of guys behind us.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do for us?
Yeah.
And he's like, this is what I can do. I'm like, all right, well, let's do it. You know what I mean? So everyone kind of.
Were you surprised by the box?
Kind of, man.
Yeah,
people don't bring,
that just doesn't happen.
Equity. People don't bring equity to the table. That's what it is.
Especially up front.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he was like, yo, I got this big box of merch. Y'all go, represent. If you want. If you don't, that's cool as fuck, So we started representing and and that's how it kind of happened.
And then, so how did the relationship start to grow? Like, because at this point, you don't know them at all, really.
No.
Like, they're just strangers. So...
Relationships always grow when you bring beer and fucking weed. Always, that's how it expands, man.
Okay, but you guys are a tight knit.
Ooh, shit.
You guys were a tight knit group, right?
Crazy. Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, that's always kind of weird, like someone new coming in.
But see, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, when we were doing Cloudmakers, it is absolutely a tight knit group, absolutely. But I feel like the best thing about it is that we're so eclectic that we have such a bigger reach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, before we were in Cloudmakers, or before I was doing like shows with Cloudmakers, I knew Gadzooks because we did a show with John at the fucking Black Watch Pub. You know what I'm saying? It's far reaching. You know what I mean? Like, and like once you kind of start to build a community, it starts to kind of bubble up and shit. Like that's the kind of shit. Like you start kind of picking things up. And like, yo, this dude is Tony. Like is in with some people who are fucking doing some shit. So let's start fucking messing with this dude. Or let's start fucking hanging out with Gadzooks. Dude, damn, that fool's doing a bunch of cool shit. You know what I'm saying? Or Wino's doing a bunch of cool shit. Or Soft doing kind of shit. You know, everybody's doing a bunch of cool shit. And you know what I mean? So,
but how do you guys turn that from? Because at some point, Bees of Tree, you started to like as the brand started to develop. I mean, because you didn't start off as like pretty much staff of the brand, right?
No, not at all. It was already like developed and had like.
So what was the first thing you pitched, or what did they ask you to do something, or do you remember what it was?
I don't remember what it was. Hey, real shit. What the fuck is going on over there? Is there somebody captured?
What?
No, you hear that? What does that sound?
Somebody's playing very bad drums.
Somebody's drumming on like trash cans.
It's not somebody shooting.
Is stomp happening next door?
Maybe Tony should take him up off the shirt.
Real shit. I think I came to the brand. I think I for reals like came to the brand more with just like we were talking about like his Instagram and stuff like that, and I was just like, hey man, like there's a lot of
things
shit
could be
that's
better.
Here I am again, double take. I know you see me everywhere, no doppelgangers. Really just been out and on my grind. No stunt doubles, lookalikes, it's all a genuine article. Particle, a little piece of space. Accelerate the atoms till Higgs shows face. I find it kind of funny. The people want to test, but they never want to study. What the fuck, man? How'd we get to this point? And what's the point when nobody having fun with a joint? I don't get it. But I don't let it get me down when I don't get it. I take the time to figure it out, and if I said it, then you know without a doubt because I edit. Before I let it leave my mouth, and that's the truth, yo. Stay up on my Robinson Crusoe. Confuse those who don't see moves on the usual. It's nothing new to me. Might be new to you, but I rock scars and jewelry. It's nothing new to me. I fail often, fail hard, and success come chasing me. It's nothing new to me. Might be new to you, but I rock scars and jewelry. It's nothing new to me. I fail often, fail hard, and success come chasing me. I rock my fuck-ups like accomplishments. Leave the corpse out, stink up the apartment. Ain't a marksman, but always on target. I harness everything that I got to break the harness. Yeah, regardless of the outcome, gotta be productive, not the cats that get me outdone. Nah, cloud makers in the house, bitches. Smoking up the last ounce, bitches. They said it's funny how we acting up. We out of bounds, went out of town, but still haven't had enough. We called the bluff and bluffed the fuck right back. Tough talk fell flat when they came up empty-handed, huh? I heard the tale before. I worked to fail some more. The case ain't open and closed, but if you think you really like me, we can fail in love. It's nothing new to me. Might be new to you, but I rock scars and jewelry.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that I think you should take down that's not complimentary to the brand, to where we need to take better pictures and take better time and get better photographers. Zooks.
I got one. You know.
Oh, shit, he got his own mic. This fool been waiting for an hour to speak to say I got one.
Hand me his mic and I pull one out my ass.
Yeah, but like to get better photographers and get other people involved, you know, like that are doing shit that we like. It's like KP was saying, you know, like looking out and seeing like, okay, like Tony's doing something dope that we like, you know, Zooks is out here doing something that we like let's reach out to these people and working with people that you see that are doing something that you almost feel like is like like I need to do a little better so I can fuck with these people. That's a good thing. Like I'm not. You got to be willing to fail and reach out and like Tony did, reach out and be like, hey, yo, like, you guys want to fuck with this shit? Like, I'm going to offer some shit and put my cards on the table and be like, here's what it is. And people will say, nah, we're not gonna fuck with that, and you go like, God damn, tail between your legs, and you go home and it feels shitty, and then the next day you either wake up and do it again, and try it again until it works, or
this isn't for you.
don't. And that's it. And like Tony been doing that shit, and like for us it worked out. It was like, yo, I like what this fool's doing. He's working. He's doing what he likes. He pushes out shit that he likes. Like. And then from there, people don't always have to fuck with it. Like people don't always have to fuck with it, but for us, it's just at least for me a lot. Like it's about the growing up shit. Where it's like a lot of times, like when I was young, like my favorite shit was to write, but now my favorite shit is to mix and master. You know, shit changes for me. Like sometimes I'm in that mode, but like. I feel like a lot of times, even with design shit, it's the same shit. Where it's like a lot of times it's great to make this shit, but also sometimes it's great to make some shit that's a little out of your pocket and see like, what does this do? What kind of ripple does this make in the water when I throw it in? This is a different kind of rock, and see what happens, and see what shit happens with that. So like that's why I like fucking with Tony, because he's willing to do that. Like he knows what he likes, and like there's shit that I've made where I've sent it to him, and he's like, nah, dog, we ain't doing that.
So that does happen.
Okay. Every design. It's not like I'm like, hey, here's a design, we printing this. I send it to Tony, and I be getting rejected. Like that shit happens all the time.
Like that's the thing. We all work together. We don't want to be yes men to each other. We have to be honest with each other.
Oh no, this fool breaks my heart daily.
What is something? Give an example of something you didn't like that they thought would be good, and you're like, nope, we're not doing that.
Well, I'll tell you something that I didn't like, but ended up being good. Was that Switches shirt that with the lowrider on it?
Oh yeah.
The lowrider tee.
That ended up doing well.
Yeah, and I didn't.
And you didn't like it. No. Okay, so give me the opposite. Something that they liked and you didn't.
Man,
and you were right.
Oh, I mean.
Never.
There's been there's been a bunch of them, but real shit. Like they're all reasons like to where.
What has he rejected of yours?
That's what I'm saying. I'm in the same boat as he is. Like I can't even think of a specific one off the top, but I know that there's been multiples where he's like. That's cool, and the tone makes me go like,
well, yeah,
you ain't fucking with this, and then like I look at it 3 months later, and I'm like, what who designed this? It's fucking terrible. And then it's like I realized, like, oh, okay, this fool is definitely right. Like, good call, fucking call. But like, the Switches tee was the opposite, where he said no, and I said no, show this to people, let's see what's up. And then he got great feedback, and it was like, okay, good.
This is why I bring that up, Tony, because I know Eddie deals with this a lot, right? Because there's a tendency for especially artists, and we can all kind of relate to this. People who are doing like the more technical things and like especially organizing, if you're an organizer, and that's the biggest role you play within. I know that's probably us all. He's putting his thumb down. That's probably everybody with a mic for sure. Me and Arash were complaining about it on the way up, but they tend to like dismiss them as well as not being creative at all, and that's not correct, because like Eddie's very creative. It just doesn't manifest itself in the way that we do it. You know what I mean? Like how we make music or whatever. That takes a creative eye and a vision to say no.
I think I gave up my creative part. I did give up I gave up my creative part because Criff, my partner, Visa Tree. They pretty much do all the designing. And I kind of gave that creative part. I'm like, we have a logo and I just build off that on Illustrator. But I think most of the main stuff is Criff and Visa Tree.
But you're still deciding ultimately.
Exactly, but...
Tony,
but see, that's the best part about it.
I didn't know
the best part about it.
I didn't know that.
And I pretty much do all pretty much the footwork. And that's what I do.
Tony, is this all where you envisioned you would be right now?
It's past.
So you're past, like you had a vision of where it was going to be. It's past it, so now this is all brand new. There's
that's so dope,
thoughts.
Man. That's like a beautiful fucking thing.
I mean, my goal is to actually open up a store. That's like a goal that I have, to open up a store.
That's the next goal.
It's hard. Open up a store it's hard, and it's a big step.
But here's the thing, though. This is why this is so interesting, is because KP, Gadzooks could take a photo.
Look,
that could change everything tomorrow.
Look,
and then all of a sudden, it's a different game.
I mean, the store, like...
Because you are kind of gambling. Anybody giving me free shit, you're gambling on me a little bit. You know, that you at least believe in me enough to know that this is a good investment.
My brand is a lot of gambling.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of gambling and a lot of believing in people.
Yeah.
You know, like I believe in Gazooks.
Yeah.
I deleted every picture that was not shot by Gazooks.
Wow.
Wow, Gadzooks.
And
wow.
He's so monogamous with his photography.
Well, I think that's
He's all, golly gee willikers,
but
guys.
that's the thing that I think that has to be done because just to make it consistent and to make it more. I guess the word's consistent. You know.
Did you know that was Did you know that's where that was headed when you first started working with him?
No, actually, I first met him. Honestly, we've never even talked about this, so I'm not even sure how he caught wind of me.
I don't know how the fuck I met Gazooks.
I assume it was.
Wow.
He hit me up a week before I went to South by Southwest with Cloudmakers, so I knew Sean and Earth, Thesis and Earth.
Yeah.
And so
speaking of Thesis,
speaking of Thesis, that's a little inside joke. You guys don't have to understand.
Okay. Yeah. Neither do the listeners, apparently.
So he hit me up randomly, and he said, I'd like to give you some shirts, because he knew I was going to South by Southwest. I was like, yeah, dope, run it. So we met up, I think I had my wife with me and everything. It was somewhere weird.
I remember now.
Yeah, right? And he just gave me a box of shit.
Why'd you hit him up? Just because he was going? Pretty much?
Just because he was going, and I knew.
Did you know the extent of what he did yet?
No.
No, right?
And because Cloudmakers is hella unorganized. And so he was like, let me give some shirts to Gadzooks who will probably distribute these nicely.
And my thing was just to give it to him and maybe they'll end up in photos, maybe they'll fucking end up in the trash. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
and so at that time, that's all you knew him as, the guy who was going with them.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does that come together to, hey, why don't you take this photo? What was the first shoot?
I wasn't even really doing photos back then. I had just kind of stopped rapping, so I went with them to do a documentary. Right?
Yeah.
The first photos were for spring.
Right, yeah. I just barely started doing photos for him.
How did that happen? But I mean, why?
Through the sponsorship, we just started hanging out, and then they were going out to Utah with it wasn't even South Provoked at the time. It was Wino, right?
Yeah, Wino.
The first time we went out there was with Wino, and he said, why don't you tag along? You could document the shit, take pictures or whatever. So
yeah, we brought Gazooks instead. Some other guy came, but we're like, bring Gazooks.
Yeah.
The other guy's listening right out.
yeah, sorry, other guy. I don't know who you are personally.
How's it that you're having a barbecue?
You make beats now. You make beats now. Stop crying.
Okay. Okay. I don't know.
Is it Timbaland? Yeah.
Is it Timberland?
That turned out to be President Obama. Okay, so what was the first thing you shot?
Specifically for him, it was weird because I would just start shooting, rappers, Extra and all them, and they were sponsored, so they'd have the Stay Ill shirt on.
Yeah.
So then, I'm just taking pictures because I want to take pictures. They want pictures of themselves to use for whatever, and he wants the pictures for his brand. So it just kind of fell into itself, And then that turned into, hey, let's actually organize something and get a shoot,
Yeah.
So,
Which was what?
Was it last spring?
Yeah.
It was here.
For spring, I was here.
Yeah, that was lame.
Was that the pool one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that one was dope.
The kiddie pool. The kiddie pool.
Oh,
it was like some 4th of July shit. Yeah. That's what it was.
You were in that, right?
Yeah.
Were you in that? Yeah.
My girl.
Yeah. No, I know that.
I wasn't gonna say that.
No. I'm saying.
Better have been there, John.
Oh, did you meet her there?
Huh? No, I didn't meet her there.
Oh, I was like, wow.
I introduced him. Kidding.
So, and then from there, did you see what the brand was already, and did you have ideas already?
Yeah, absolutely. Really, I have no reservations. Just admitting, I want to be fucking famous.
Yeah.
I've always kind of been that way. And furthermore, I want to be around other people who want to be fucking famous. Not just because they want to be famous, because they know they're good at something. And we're going to do this until we're fucking famous.
Yeah.
And it might sound shallow. I don't really give a fuck, right? I'm way too old to worry about that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I have this I've been playing with this theory where it's like there's infinite amounts of worlds, right? There's one planet, right?
Yeah.
So we're all on the same planet, but everybody's world is different.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Because I have a regular job, and I go to that job, and I hang out with my coworkers or whatever, and it was really weird. It was like a culture shock because I'm looking at all these guys, and they're great dudes, you know what I mean? Great dads, great coworkers, and all that. But I'm like, so wait, so you're telling me no one here is like writing a song or a fucking screenplay, no one owns a camera. It's weird. It was way different because here, even how many people are here? 10? You know what I mean? Everybody has 500 things they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So I liked it's just, you know, I have a lot of friends, but I'd much rather hang out with this group of people just because they're inspiring. We fuck with each other. You know what I mean? So I knew on a base level, that's kind of where I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I fucked with the brand. And like I said, you know, there's several different worlds, and we all know a different world. And, like, I want to be a god in the world I prefer. And I want to hang out with other gods in their world. You know what I'm saying? So
you want to bring what do you feel like bringing to the... Stop. It's fucking... What do you feel like...
That's the kind of people I want on my brand.
What's the biggest thing you bring to the table in your mind?
Shit, photography. Like what I just said. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Literally just the state of mind.
Yeah.
That you're willing to go the long haul.
John May's the designer. He has the eye, and he is like uncontested honesty. Right? Like I'll pour my fucking heart. Like this just happened like days ago. I shot someone else who's on the brand, right? And I just put so much time and effort into making the photo look how I thought was tight. And I'm like, all right, I shoot it to Tony, and Tony's super nice. He's like, oh no, it's tight. You know, it's never like it's whack. It's never it's whack, and it's never it's amazing.
You already know what he's gonna say.
No, they know my reactions. You know, I'm like,
Oh, absolutely.
Oh no, it's good. Good job. You know. So I'm like, this dude John will let me down. You know what I mean? So I shoot it to him, and I'm like, yo, is this too vibrant? Are the colors? And he's like, yeah, it's whack. Don't do it. You know? Like, yeah, that's me. It looks fake. Don't do it.
Wow.
Like, fuck, I just spent 3 hours on this.
Yeah.
But so I trashed it. Muds too. Muds. I'll always send it to Muds. You know, Muds got an eye.
You know, it definitely feels like I've observed this from like different crews that we've met, and like even within our own crew, and different crews that we're parts of. Like, it seems like what makes this whole thing last is when you look around and the thing that you're working on ends up just being really the excuse for this like family unit that exists. Because this thing is always going to change. The business is going to change. You're gonna do
people are
going to
find different levels of success.
You're going to have days that you're happy to do it. You're going to have days that you fucking hate every minute of it.
Well, look.
So like that's the advice I always tell like every like list like people that are interested in having a better life. You want to have a more enjoyable life. You want to make more friends. Get involved in something and pour your all into it, and the rest of it will figure itself out. All of your life will figure itself out. Your personal growth will figure itself out. You'll be happier. You'll be in better shape. Get into something.
Be sexy.
Be a part of it. Absolutely.
Well, I might just fail at it, which I'm real good at. Like, I be doing that shit all the time. You just try a motherfucking thing, and it doesn't work out, and it's like...
Yeah, but if you're doing it, you should be, like, failing forward. Trademark 1992.
Well, I mean, my thing, like, Stay Illuminated, Illuminate Co. is my baby, and... But there are other avenues, you know, that we should go to and that you should explore with other people and with other.
What's the next thing for Stay Illuminated?
For Stay Illuminated?
Like, what do you envision, like, this next year? Or, like, what do you want? Okay, so you say the store. Yeah, I mean, what's that, like, is that like a 5-year plan? What do you think?
Fuck my life.
Until die plan.
It's just gonna happen.
I mean, look, Criff, my partner.
Yeah.
Hey, Criff, get on the mic already, Criff. You haven't spoke once.
Criff, sit right here.
Yeah, sit down.
Let me get a boy a mic.
Oh, okay. Sit over there. Sit somewhere.
I don't know where to sit. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Me and Criff have been friends for 20 years. Probably like 20 years. And we have mutual friends that are very successful, and you know, and so we have kind of a template where we trying to follow.
I got you.
You know, so I think because our friends opened a store. You know, can we say names on here?
Yeah, you can say whatever.
Should we?
No cursing though.
Give a shout out.
Yeah, a little primitive.
Yeah, okay.
Those are my dogs. That's our dogs.
Yeah.
You know, they opened up a store.
Shout out to Primitive.
Yeah, shout out to Primitive, man. And those those guys, and Andy, love you, and he won't listen to this, but anyways.
Yeah.
But because he's busy,
Yeah,
I love those guys, and I learned so much from them, and so was Criff and all of us, and they started their store before the brand.
Okay.
They're so that's, I guess we're going backwards what we want to do.
Yeah, but you're coming from
reverse the formula and did things.
Reverse the formula, yeah.
Yeah, but you guys seem to be coming from like an underlying creative. Like that's still the most important thing for you to create something, as opposed to some people who create businesses really well and then they get creative later in creating businesses. Like creative people don't always create businesses, though.
No,
yeah, I think it all spawned from a desire to create.
Yeah, that's what it's mostly. And so, wait, how did you become involved with the brand? Like, what was the day that you decided to at least join in?
We're, like you said, we're friends from way back, mutual friends, and at Andy's wedding, I approached him and I saw that he was doing his thing, building his brand.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I.
Who's Andy?
Andy is CEO, owner of Primitive.
Okay, gotcha.
So I just saw that he was doing his thing, building his brand.
Yeah.
I liked the direction he was going in, the things he was doing, and I just felt it was something that I could contribute to.
Yeah.
Like myself, in my own journey, I was beginning to get away from that whole 9-to-5 thing. Exploring my creative abilities and see what I could do.
That's awesome. Can I just interject? You have a great radio voice.
Yeah.
Holy shit! You guys starting a Stay Illuminated podcast? You got to get you to host that fucking.
Can I ask you?
for sure.
Can I ask you, what's your background like? What where are your parents from?
I'm Guatemalan.
You're Guatemalan.
Yeah, first generation here.
First generation.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so were your parents artistic? Like, where does the art come from, you think?
To be honest, I don't know. Like, I have a couple uncles that were real creative.
Yeah.
But for the most part, my parents are just 9-to-5ers.
If you had to
my family.
If you had to describe your creative process, what is it?
I kind of think of myself more as like a left-minded thinker that wants to be right-minded.
Yeah.
Because everything for me has always been like, I analyze, I break down other people's creative processes, and then I try and apply my own formula to it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always been real open. Like, I don't really define any certain creative process. I look at every different creative venture as its own entity, and then I try and take little bits and pieces that I like from everyone to produce the next project.
Yeah.
It's always like a creative process to create.
What was the conversation that happened? Like, did he just go, "Yo, I want to be down with you," or
I mean, I love Criff, and I saw him at the wedding, and it's just like seeing a friend, So I saw he was really artistic. I'm like, you know what? I need this. We need this. Our brand needs this.
Yeah, it fits.
He does everything from hand. Yeah. And his vision is fucking awesome, and it just fits with us, and everything's from hand. That's what I liked, and everything's like natural and nothing fucking like illustrated, and like on Illustrator, he does everything like hand drawn, and I just love his,
So you're hand drawing, and then what are they? Are they vectorizing it?
Yeah.
And then okay, so you're an actual in-house artist.
Yeah, I'm a traditional artist. Like, it was hard for me to make that transition into the digital world. I was like one of those old school, just
you're the opposite of John
by hand.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much. It's like the polar spectrum.
So like kind of in a creative process.
In our studio,
I didn't know that is awesome.
So that's that bouncing ideas back and forth off the opposite ends of things.
Right.
Kind of brings us to where we.
Your statement about left brain trying to be right brain is something I can really I relate to it a lot. Like what I was about to say before you said that was I feel like I've met you before, but I know I haven't. But I know the thought process because I'm like I relate to it a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the stuff that you're
on the same frequency.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when you guys are now looking forward to the future, right? Like from your perspective as like one of the visual artists, and knowing that. Now I'm attached to a brand that, in essence, will evolve. Mm-hmm. And so I'll therefore hopefully evolve with it. Like, are you thinking about what's tomorrow? Like, where is this going?
Always.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Where
I'm
and what do
always
you
trying
see?
to-
If you could give it away. I know some of this stuff is like, creative stuff you guys are doing behind the scenes and stuff, but where do you see Stay Illuminated going? Like, what's it going to be? What will it manifest into?
I try and stay fluid in my opinion, because I think there's a lot of different avenues we could take.
Yeah.
I don't want to like narrow us down to one specific.
Well, give us something,
demographic,
like,
but
give us a want, like something you'd like to do. Like, I like to
a little bit more minimal.
Yeah.
A little bit more simplistic.
One color.
So even just something with a tag, no design on it at all. Just
Yeah.
T-shirt with a tag kind
Yeah.
of thing, but just cleaner, more simple.
That's awesome.
But always keep the door open for real vibrant illustrated designs.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, that's my background. Like I'm a painter.
Yeah.
That's what got me into art. That's what got me into design. Was essentially it was graffiti.
Yeah.
Graffiti.
Yeah.
Like black books were my first canvas, and then from that I started painting. Got up on all kinds of different artists and learned more and expanded my vision as an artist, and then kind of hesitantly eventually started looking at things in a design state of mind. And
Yeah. You say hesitantly. Why?
like I said, I was always that old school mentality of like it should be done by hand.
Yeah.
That whole digital thing is kind of like
Yeah.
anybody can do that.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily anybody could do that, but at the state.
Where are you
that
at with it
time-
now?
Oh, I appreciate it so much. Like, it just makes my ability so much more enhanced. Like,
Yeah.
It's like I can take a simple drawing and put it into a computer and do so much more with it.
Yeah.
Versus drawing it and trying to erase it or white out.
You know, I wish we could explain this to some of the DJs that keep, hating on Serato and shit. Like, it's okay to use technology and
No,
to make your shit
definitely.
better.
Like, yeah, I like to play with music too. I play with vinyl as a DJ. And
Yeah.
I'm the same way musically too. Like I was always the enthusiast of spinning on wax and
But you can use it to influence and get better, right?
I think it's all it is intent.
It took other friends to like kind of draw me into that. Just open your mind, try it out, and then once I did, it was like, wow, you can do so much more if you just allow yourself.
Can I tell you guys something,
Instead
by
of,
the way? It's interesting because like we're nearing sort of like the end of the interview, right? So it's like right now, like the visual of what's happening in the room or on the patio.
This is cool,
very,
right?
It's very much like the end of the documentary of the story, right? Because like all the crowd just went inside, the party just went inside. They're all getting loud.
They got cold.
And
Describe what's happening outside.
It's just us now. It's just us four really SPs taking a nap in the corner. SPs taking a nap in
Self
the
is
corner.
over here.
But you two
on vacation.
But mostly like in the interview part of it though, like you two are like it's like sort of like the last guys that are still here.
Yeah.
Like you're here, the party's like moved on, but
Well,
you
that's-
two have been here in the beginning, you two will be here at the end.
That's the whole play of things that it's like I'm the first one there, last one to leave.
Yeah.
And that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And you've
Which
accepted
is fine,
that. It seems
which
like
is
you've
fine.
embraced it.
Yeah, I won't have it any other way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm the one. If I put stuff together, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You don't do nothing. Just be there.
And this is one of the reasons, like, I'm not sure if he expressed to you, like, we've been trying to get him on the show for a while, because for people who don't know, and there's no reason not to be transparent about it, Tony and I have kept in touch for years now.
Years.
And we've always talked. And
I knew Crappy Awesome was rigged.
Well, it's always funny for people because we have conversations online all the time, and we're just constantly exchanging information. Hey, can I help you with this? Help you with that? That's simply just because for me, I like Tony.
Yeah.
Like Tony's a good dude, and to me, seeing the brand become what it was like a bonus. I was like, wow, that shit is dope.
Yeah.
But it's doper that it's from Tony. Yeah. And me and Tony have laughed many a time when people think like we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And that's kind of nice to have too. Like, let's be honest. There's two big networks that fuck with each other.
True.
It's really nice to have that out there for you.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted you on the show, dude, because I think I think if people listen to it, they can't look at Stay Illuminated the same way anymore, because there was that part that I thought needed to be told about the people who are actually, you know what I mean, touching the t-shirts before anybody has them, and sitting there and stressing over ideas, and you know, that putting this much importance in the product, because you guys are obviously, it's not just about getting a brand.
No,
a t-shirt.
it's not.
Like,
about
you're
that.
talking
It's-
about like minimalistic
that's
stuff
simple.
that doesn't necessarily. That's not being like thirsty or asking for fame. In fact, it's almost the opposite. It's like let me try to find balance within all of this, and it's dope that people know that someone like yourself and like your entire team is running that brand, because I think that's what's important, because at the end of the day, hopefully people buy that, not just a t-shirt. You know what I mean? They buy what it means, you know?
The fact that this all the people here they do take ownership in the brand.
Yeah.
They take ownership of the Stay Illuminated movement, you know, whatever. But it's just the brand itself, and it's
more than a brand. It's a family.
That's what it is.
And it stood the test of time, dude.
Yeah.
I remember talking to you a couple years ago, and he was talking about this. He was like, "This is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to do it." And sure enough, here it is. Because, dude, I don't know. We could talk about endless brands that started at the same exact time that I don't even know where they're
That's
at.
what I'm saying. Our brand outlasts a lot of people because
a lot.
I don't know if you guys can hear, by the way, the inside. Can you guys pick that up?
I think they're doing.
Are my dogs okay?
They're doing cake stands.
Are they doing cake stands in
I
there?
don't know.
Damn, what the fuck are they
You know
doing
why?
there?
You know what? Let's go join them.
You know why? Because the dads are outside right now. Let's jump on the sofas. Dude, thank you guys so much, man.
man.
Honestly, dude, it's honor sitting down with people like yourselves who think the way you guys do. Like I said, I think it was very important that people understand the minds behind the brand, so that they really know. And trust me, I think everybody who has invested in the brand, after hearing this, feels good with that investment. You know what I mean? As Linowski walks in, looking like Fonzie, a young Fonzarello. Young Fonzarello.
All right, let's wrap this up.
All right, guys, thank you so much. Dude, tell people how to get in touch with you and the brand.
Stay
Illuminated.
StayIlluminated.com.
The way it sounds.
Yeah, Stay Illuminated, yeah.
StayIlluminated.com. Guys, and for you lazy motherfuckers, because I know you guys are lazy, you can go to platformcollection.com right now. There'll be links to all their stuff and the guys who were on the show. And check out everything that Stay Illuminated does. You guys have another, when's the next, release, the series, the next season for you guys? Can it come at any moment?
Any moment, yeah.
Okay,
Well,
there it is.
yeah,
They're
any
being very
moment.
tight-lipped. They looked at each other and they gave each other the no look.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Can't give them the exclusive.
No.
You may now flush the toilet.
Feel like I've been down for a while, can't crack a damn smile. Stay gunning in the race, but none of this the last mile. Coming up soon, it's a wild life that I run through. 1, 2, knock me to the floor. Cut 2, make it something sticky for your soul. That's a gumshoe. Love to get a blessing on the track. I know you know my heart is turned black and I don't love you, so fuck you. I'm above and better off without you. About to shake it off, let it slide, fade away. People like to talk about when they grind, but that's my day to day. Say to say, I do to do it, pay to play this daily duel. I make my way to way to kick it with a couple few. Oh, a couple heavy-handed gestures, set the mood and lay the texture. I think I hit halfway. I think I'm halfway there. Hey.
And I swear that I'm better than dope, better than broke, better than just thinking that the halfway point's just a joke. I'm all about sincerity, no shame in what I wrote, but I'm feeling nowadays that words get caught up in my throat, huh? It's never been this way before. I should've made $1 million by the age of 24, so my mama didn't ever have to work or clean the floor, and it had enough to cover for the vices I explore. The vices I deplore seem to be the reason why I've been cleared for launch and takeoff, but I've never touched the sky. Uncertain till I die if I'll ever reach my pinnacle. The biggest fear I have is that my soul becomes too cynical. Just kill it though. I'm a heathen by nature, living in danger, breathing my anger, feeling it strangle, measuring angles while they pass me by, and catch a ray of sunshine from the corner of my eye.
Is this the front or the back end? Or the midpoint? You better get all the things you said you was gonna do. Is this the front or the back end? Or the midpoint? You better get all the things you said you was gonna do. But I don't know anything, and I don't know anyone, and I don't go anywhere, and I don't go till I'm done, and I don't sleep, I don't rest, I don't hands turn to idle breath, I don't sleep, I don't rest. breathe easy.
Inhale,
And just be free.
exhale.
Brought to you by PlatformCollection.com.